Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well,
Maybe, I don't know.
Well,
So
the one other thing is,
we simply felt that after f6, actually black was just gone already.
could be. The thing is, it's very close. White has a window of opportunity of maybe 1 or 2 moves after rook c7, for instance. And if all those tactics don't work, then it's nothing actually. So it's actually very close. The problem is with the computer, then it's very easy. But if you're sitting at the board with about 10 minutes, you're not sure, you can blow it in one move. So it comes down to that.
Actually, you'll be surprised the computer changes its mind quite a lot as well.
Oh, okay, good. I thought this maybe was, no, what was the, bishop g7 is correct.
Okay, so you checked on e6 here instead of taking...
Well, the problem is takes... Yeah, no, this is correct. I think I couldn't win the rook. I just couldn't find a way of winning the rook.
You cannot even win the h7 pawn, I think.
Yeah.
If you win the h7 pawn, then it should be winning. But
yeah, I couldn't win the h7 pawn or the rook, because if I take, he just goes, rook, it's very important, he goes rook b1 check, rook e1. And so something like this. And his thing gets back to e7
so
or so, and then
you
it's
have
kind
a
of
fortress. Yeah.
I mean, if I take the h7 pawn, it's winning because I have an entry square. But I couldn't see how to do that. Anyway, the thing is here, I believe that this is important. But this I found afterwards, after the time control. So I forced this, check.
Yes.
Now I go check. This is very important. And if king h8, then I break him down like this. And king h2, and then I slowly, I loop all over the place and then somehow try and win a pawn. But the thing is, if he goes here, I go check. He goes here, I go check. If king here, then queen then queen f5. So,
Vishy, is this what you spent
just
the first 25 moves after the time control thinking about?
This is the point, that I win the h7 pawn. That's about the only relevant thing in all that.
Okay. So I'm sure.
So no, but
this is what you spent your time thinking about.
Thinking how you could have won. You could have won by doing something different.
I almost came close to finding this, but I didn't. And then I panicked and went queen e6 check. I might be winning even after that, but.
Well, yeah, in a couple of ways, it seems.
After bishop a3, queen g8, queen a6. Is that correct? Queen a6?
Yeah, no, there was a win earlier.
Not bishop a3.
Rook f7, exactly.
There was some problem with that.
Queen b8,
yeah.
Yeah, rook e7 is a nice move after queen b8. And then we found a way to survive a little bit longer. So I just remember, it was rook c8.
No, wait a minute. Can I go queen c8 here?
Queen e7?
And rook c1 check, just king h2, yeah.
Yeah, the rook is on g3.
Yeah,
exactly.
and the other way it gets back
H2.
king and then rook g3, yeah, okay.
Actually, that's
Great.
showing that variation, Vision.
Okay.
We thought it was a really hard variation to see.
So,
I mean, I spent ages on rook f7, but...
okay, so the point is, if rook here, well, okay, you can't take because there's a draw.
Sure.
And let's just see this one. So that's draw by perpetual after queen f4, but, okay, we can just play king h2. And there are too many things on pre's. Okay, but later on, here...
Yeah, I felt I got a second win with bishop e7, and then I'm sort of... queen, I was very proud of queen a6, but he went queen e8, and...
Did you think you were taking on f6 immediately? Later, I mean, when you got to around about king
No,
g8?
I thought this is a forced win. If queen d6, he goes here, and again I don't, rook d8, you just take in queen g8, yeah? So something like this. I thought this was a draw.
Well, actually, in this position, we also thought bishop c5 was just cutting the rook off.
I actually saw bishop c5, but I thought I was seeing things, simply. No, the problem is I've already come so close. I saw this idea that f5 I can just take a thing, but by this point I couldn't believe it anymore. So
I thought also queen b7 was winning here.
also stopping the rook getting back.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know, it seemed Well, anyway, the bishop just cuts back. So, anyway, rolling on. Maybe we can get to the critical moment after move 40 because it's kind of long. I mean, what's...
Well, my impression is that this is White's ideal setup.
So you've basically you've just improved your king a little bit, and now your bishop has freedom.
It's a bit more than that. That I actually want to play some lines I want to play h5, but it's pretty tactical. I think this is the ideal configuration. The rook will go to a7 sometimes. The queen can go to b7. I can play h5, and there are all sorts of tactics. If the queen gets too far afield, bishop h6. You must have seen it in some line. Things like that. I can't prove it's a win, but it should be pretty unpleasant for him. So.
Yeah. I mean, Magnus, you were at all hopeful in this position, or did you just feel it was a matter of time, or what?
I don't know.
You were just playing?
Well, yeah, I was trying to just hang in there, not lose in one move, but yeah. There's not much to do really for black because I cannot improve my position at all. And actually this setup with queen g6 and rook on g8 is kind of ideal for me, but when the pawn gets to h4, I simply cannot do that because h5 will win at some point. So still, maybe it's not a clear win for white.
Vishy, do you want to just take us through the final moves?
Well, it's basically you just go on putting pressure. I don't know if there's a moment when it's thing, and then when he walked into.
Yeah, can we?
I don't know. Maybe he has to play rook f8. I couldn't see a Zugzwang here.
Vishy, can we just ask for a second here, because obviously keeping the queens on and winning the pawns was ideal for you. Did it go through your mind the various endgame possibilities that could come up? For example, rook and 3 on the same side against the rook and 2h pawns? Or
I thought that was just drawn.
You think that's just drawn?
I had that strong impression.
And the bishop and 3 pawns against the bishop and 2h pawns?
That actually worked out to a dead draw, because either I play h5 or he plays h5. If he plays h5, over. If I play h5, he waits on f8, and I cannot, and he sits with the king on f7. King on f7, bishop on f8, it's a fortress as far as I can tell.
So basically you're saying you needed to keep the queens on the board.
I didn't see any way without the queens.
Without the queens on the board, okay.
But this was nice, queen c3, and then I'm actually hitting something. Already here I thought he didn't have a defense, so maybe something, he got outplayed a bit earlier.
Yeah, maybe I should...
Somewhere here.
Maybe I should play rook d8 after... instead of rook e8.
But then I go rook c6?
f5.
Isn't there a bishop
Rook
takes
h6?
h6
You can play
tactic?
bishop h6.
No, he's talking here.
Of course, in these positions, rook d8 fails to bishop h6. But
This rook d8.
Oh, this rook d8, okay.
And rook c6 f5, yeah? Yeah, could be. No, I didn't see a forced thing one way or the other. Can I go bishop c5 e7 here?
No. Queen e8. Bishop e7.
But this is just about the only ending which wins.
Yeah, it takes and bishop.
And this is a win. Because I get
You
a
take
second
on
pawn.
h6. Okay,
Yes.
so just to see that very quickly. After bishop takes, bishop, queen takes, and
Bishop
check,
e7.
and you take on h6. Yeah.
And if rook d7, I have to take it this way. I can't try and win the queen. And then this is winning.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Okay, let's just zip through to the end. It's been a very long day for everyone. Okay, so rook e8.
Yeah, and then I sort of break through here, because if f5, then rook c7 wins.
Queen goes to d5 and rook to f7. After taking...
Yeah. Well, I mean, queen d7 might just...
Queen d7, okay.
So this happens. I thought king g8 was the only move here.
Queen d4?
Yeah, this is correct, because bishop d4 is not quite a thing, but queen d4 is very precise. And slowly I will win a second pawn, and this should be good.
Actually, what I wanted to do after rook... what I wanted to play was rook f6 in this position. I thought if I can get the queen to f6, then I will survive a little bit longer at least. You can just take and go queen f4. That's the problem.
Oh, very simple. Okay, so it basically forces the queens off. Yeah, clever. Okay, so after that, okay, so it's gone. And just one little tactic at the end there. After this, rook c8 isn't possible because of the checks. Queen f6, let's just see. Queen f6 and queen e6. Forks the two.
Rook c2 is absolutely the only move, but unfortunately it's more than enough.
Okay. Right, well, thank you very much to Magnus Carlsen and Vishy Anand for coming in. It's been a long day. Thanks very much indeed.